May 1st, 2015, from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It was Game 6 of the 2015 NBA Playoff Round 1 matchup between the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets. And so far in the series, the home team had won every game. The Hawks had other ideas as they were looking to close this series out, but the Nets were hoping to force Game 7. But in the first quarter, the Hawks took control. They pushed their lead to double digits, and DeMarre Carroll hit a three-pointer at the end of the first quarter to make it 36-23, as the Hawks were up by 13 after one. Then in the second quarter, the Nets started to claw back and climb their way back into it. And with about a little less than 5.5 minutes left before halftime, Joe Johnson hit a big three-pointer to bring the Nets within 3 points at 40-37. But then Paul Millsap responded with a three-pointer of his own to push it back to a 6-point lead, and Horford added another two. But then fast forward to a minute left, and Joe Johnson hits another big three-pointer, this time to pull the Nets within 6 at 49-43. But then Millsap added two over for the Hawks. Then Johnson responded with a jumper. And so it was 51-45 at halftime, with the Hawks in the lead by 6. But then in the third quarter, Atlanta goes off. Just DeMarre Carroll with the layup. Kyle Korver dropping the three. DeMarre Carroll another layup, and he gets the foul and one. And it's 59-45 as Atlanta pushed their lead to 14 points. Deron Williams would hit a three-pointer with just under 9 minutes left for the first points of the second half for the Nets, but Kyle Korver came right back with a three-pointer for Atlanta, and then after Johnson missed a three-pointer, Millsap with the board, and DeMarre Carroll drops another tray, and now it was 65-48. And by the end of the third quarter, it was 92-66. As Atlanta had pushed their lead to 26 points. So the Hawks were up by 26 heading into the fourth quarter. And the Nets, they tried to get back in it, but they could not even really get close. Earl Clark hit a three-pointer with just over a minute left that made it a 22-point game. But then at the final score would end up being 111-87. As Atlanta wins by 24 points. So the Hawks dominate in Game 6 to win the series. They eliminate the Nets in pretty impressive fashion. They're going to be moving on to round 2. They will be facing the Washington Wizards, so they'll have their work cut out from next round. But in this game, 4 of the 5 starters for the Hawks scored in double digits. And they also had a double-digit score off the bench. As Dennis Schroder had another big game for Atlanta with 12 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists off the bench. But Paul Millsap just 1 board shy of a double-double with 25 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. DeMarre Carroll had a huge game, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Kyle Korver had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Al Horford had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. So Atlanta, they were just nailing those three-pointers. DeMarre Carroll especially, 3 for 4. Kyle Korver, 6 for 10. Millsap, 2 for 4 as well. They hit 13 three-pointers. They shot 40.6% from downtown versus 30.4% for Brooklyn. They hit 7 of 23. So you saw 20 three-pointers in this game. Of course, the Nets were struggling from the field. They hit just 36.5% of their shots versus 50.6% for Atlanta. So Atlanta was hitting every other shot. They were just hitting lights out. Brook Lopez had 19 points, 7 rebounds, and a block in this game. He was one of 3 starters to score in double digits for Brooklyn. Joe Johnson, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And Deron Williams, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And off the bench, Jarrett Jack had 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So the Nets, they struggled, from the field. They really weren't able to keep up with the shooting. They're having trouble with their ball movement, and they were turning the ball over. The Hawks, they had almost twice as many assists. They had twice as many steals. 11-5 on the steals, 34-20 on the assists. It was close on the rebounds, 45-44, and they both had 3 blocks. The Hawks didn't really get to the line much. They shot 80% from the free throw line, but just 12 of 15. The Nets, 18-24, 75% shooting. They were getting to the line, but just the poor field goal shooting of the Nets is really what did them in this game, and the excellent three-point shooting of the Hawks. So the Hawks moving on. They win the series in 6. They're going to face the Wizards. But in Game 6, the final score, Atlanta 111, Brooklyn 87.